Hello, welcome to GottaBeReel movie reviews with Thommi and Jules, and right now we're doing a classic horror movie review of Bride of Chucky.
I love Chucky. We call them all Chucky. All the movies, like, hey, did you see Chucky? The one with Tiff? We know that's Bride of Chucky. I'll watch all of these forever and ever because they are friggin' hilarious to me.
I think they're going to keep making them forever and ever.
And I am okay with that. They modernized them now, like the last one, he was all, a smart doll and everything. And
yeah.
But, you got to keep up with the times. But the original one is still the best one so far.
Yeah.
With Charles Lee Ray. So Bride of Chucky, this was 1998, rated R. In here, we have the lovely Jennifer Tilly, Tiff, who plays Tiffany, who is Chucky's love interest. Yeah. Brad Dourif, who was in the original Child's Play. He's currently the voice of Chucky. He's also still the voice of Chucky in the series as well. And his daughter is in the series playing a younger version of him. Her name is Fiona. Oh my gosh, she looked just like her daddy. It's insane. In fact, if you watch the series that came out, which the kids lead the series, and they do a fantastic job.
Yeah, they do.
She has her dad's voice. She has the hair, literally his exact face. I'm like, they couldn't have gotten anybody better to play a younger version of Charles Lee Ray, right? So we got Brad Dourif, John Ritter. I forgot he was in here. He was Jack.
He was in here too.
Yeah. Three's Company. He was such a cool guy. It was so shocking when he passed away.
Yeah.
Katherine Heigl. I completely forgot. And she is like a teenager in here. So she's been acting I haven't seen her lately, but she's been acting for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Right? So Katherine Heigl. And then we got Nick Stable in here as well. So in this one, Bride of Chucky. Right? So we got Tiff, the lovely Jennifer Tilly. She's been looking for Chucky for like 10 years. She doesn't know what happened to the doll. She doesn't know where he is. She thinks she loves him, and she thinks the last time he was around, she found what she thought was an engagement ring. But she couldn't find Chucky because she didn't know what they had done with him. The cops said, well, they burn him up. I don't know where he's at. I can't find my love. So she's thinking, when I find Chucky, we're getting married because I found that ring that he left for me. Right?
Right.
So she ends up finding Chucky on a humbug. He laughs in her face when she says, I found that engagement ring. Oh, why did he do that? Ticked her off. She was like, oh, really? 10 years and you weren't going to marry me? I got something for you. So she locks him up, pretty much in a cage. And he's furious. The last time he was locked up in a cage is when Andy's mom set him on fire in fireplace. And he was, Andy, no, we're friends to the end, remember? That was the last time he got locked up in a cage. So she locks him up in a cage and now he's ticked off. I'm going to freaking kill you. She's like, yeah, whatever. Because Tiff can match him. She's not scared of Chucky. That's his, you want to go toe-to-toe, we can go toe-to-toe. You don't go there with me, Chucky, So he decides, I am going to kill her. I'm going to get out of here. And I'm going to take this electronic and I'm going to throw it in a tub. Electrocute her. Do you know what he does to punish her? For locking him up? He does the Ande Dewey Dembela, give me the power I beg of you. And he puts Tiff into a doll. She was furious. But now she doesn't have a choice but to help him.
Yeah.
Commit his crimes. Because he's put her in his body and they both want out. But he did it out of spite, right? And she did love Martha Stewart, and one of the times she's like going off on him, he was like, what would Martha Stewart do? And she's like, F Martha Stewart! Blah! And me and my cousin just crack up at that scene all the time because it's freaking hilarious. You scorned her, Chucky. So now she's mad at you. She wants revenge. All these 10 years she's been waiting, and she said, I don't sleep with people unless I'm in love with them, And the guy that she was seeing, he wanted to sleep with her, and she was like, look, I have to love you. And he ends up being their sacrifice. You know what I mean? He was like this total goth dude and all the black hair and all that. But he was really kind of a lame-o. He acted like he killed people before, but he didn't. He was just playing a game with Tiff, wanting to get in her pants, which he was unsuccessful. And he ended up dying for it. He died for the draws that he was never going to get, unfortunately. But this is one of those, they got some pretty good kills in here. I mean, you got the two dolls. And I mean, they're just doing all kind of stuff to people, and they're just laughing about it, nudging each other when they're not even supposed to be moving as dolls, and doing all this crazy stuff. And it's hilarious because I love seeing Jennifer Tilly in here. It's her voice, I think, that I love the most.
Yeah.
And even after all these years at her age, she still looks good. She still looks good, and it's that voice of hers that is just so distinguishable. You know, like Samuel L. Jackson or people like that. You hear their voice and you know it's them. You know it's Jennifer Tilly. And I think this role was like totally meant for her. There are eight Child's Play films.
I kind of feel like there's more. But
It's 8. I was wondering, like, okay, I know I seen this one and that one, and this one. You had the Cult of Chucky. I seen the new one. You know, it's a smart doll.
Child's Play 2, Child's Play 3.
Yeah. There's a Cult of Chucky, the Bride of Chucky. Remember the one that had Glenn? Because in here, which is really bizarre, as dolls, you're not supposed to be necessarily anatomically correct. But I don't know what either one of them did.
Well, they took it's human souls in these dolls' bodies. And remember, he said that they said that if
they
you
were
don't
starting
turn
to
back,
become right.
Yeah,
That's why he bleeds. Because I remember the first
so
one.
that's
He bled.
why he now he's anatomically correct.
And I'm sorry, but I don't like crude humor. I think I told you this before. They get it on in this movie, and it's really gross. I mean, it's just terribly gross. Like, you see the shadows moving, and like, it's nasty. I'd rather see y'all go chop some people up because this is kind of gross. I don't want to see two dolls getting it on. And eventually, it was in a different Chucky. They have a kid named Glenn. And I'm sorry, I don't like to say this about children. That kid is super unattractive. I mean, he's got these dark circles on. He looks like he's half dead. Well, technically, I guess he kind of is half dead considering his parents. But he's not a cute kid. I like that one too, though, because it seemed like he wanted to try to be nice, but it just wasn't in his blood. But I love all of these Child's Play movies. In fact, I don't even recall ever calling the movie really Child's Play. We all call it Chucky. Don't we all call it Chucky? Or we call it Jason or Freddy or Michael Myers. It's rare that we actually call it by the name of the movie just because we know and love the characters so much. I've seen all 8 of these and I love them all. But I forgot about Katherine Heigl and John Ritter in here. Here's something I discovered watching the beginning of this one. And I was kind of happy that I caught it. Rob Zombie has a song at the beginning of Bride of Chucky. I'm familiar with Rob Zombie's movies. I know that he does music. I've heard that for a while, but I've never actually listened to it. It kind of sounds like heavy. It sounds heavy metalish. I don't know if that's what it's considered, but he also does music. And I thought that was pretty cool that there was a Rob Zombie song at the beginning of this. I like Rob Zombie's movies. We're going to, at some point, review 31. But, you know, Rob Zombie is completely gore. I mean, you're going to get a gore fest anything you watch of his. And 31 is one of those movies as well. But this Bride of Chucky, you watched almost all of them, too?
I've seen all of them.
Are you entertained by them? I mean, they're just fun watches to me.
They're entertaining, but some of them got little
silliness too much.
Yeah.
A little bit too much. And they're doing that, but I've enjoyed all of them. I'll always watch them forever and a day because that's my thing. In fact, the last time I was at the horror convention at Mad Monster, a lot of people had the Chucky dolls for sale. You know, the life-size Chucky dolls. And it's funny because when you see some of the characters that actually play Chucky, you know, the body doubles, they're little people. And it's funny watching them from behind, knowing that it's them and seeing them with this knife and the red hair all spiky. It's kind of funny because sometimes you could tell that's not the doll. You know, it's just a little person, but they had to use it for the effects of the movie. But it's pretty darn funny. They're funny to me and they're just fun to watch, and I enjoy every single one of them. That's it. Bride of Chucky, I want to see Jennifer Tilly back. I would love to see her back at some point. I don't know if any of them would ever fit, if they're going to do anything with the storyline.
I mean, she's back on the series.
Was she on the series? I can't remember.
Yep.
I watched the whole series.
She's on the series.
I'm trying to remember where she was at because I watched it. I'm looking forward to part 2. Those kids do a great charring that series.
She came back because remember she kidnapped that other woman, and she's and part of Charles Lee Ray's spirit is in that woman.
I'm trying to remember. I just remember most of the kids and him trying to talk to kids and
he said
killing people.
Sent pieces of his soul out to.
This dude. It's the series is fantastic.
And
I love it.
he was getting all those dolls ready so he could put pieces of himself into all those
different
dolls.
Ones. He's trying
so
to build
nobody
an
could
army.
ever kill him.
He's trying to build an army.
And he's trying to stay alive.
Why don't they just have another ugly baby?
Because that's not the same as him staying alive. He wants to stay
His
alive.
Legacy.
Even though I don't know how his conscience is staying alive and all those things, but hey.
They are funny. They are very entertaining to watch. And I picked this one because Tiff is a villain.
Yeah.
I mean, she'd have done right if she just got rid of Chucky once she realized he wasn't going to propose to her, because a hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
True that.
And Tiff ain't playing no games with Chucky. But yeah, they're funny. They're fun. Take a look at them. I pulled this. I actually had I had the DVD set, but the Bride of Chucky I didn't have. But the rest of them I have, and I love watching them. Andy, the one who played Andy in the original one, he's all grown up now, and I think he was in the second one, I want to say. He doesn't look the same, though.
Well, no, because he was a child.
No, but some people grow up, you can still tell it's their face.
Yeah.
You can look at Katherine Heigl as a teenager and still see her same face. He doesn't look the same.
Okay.
To me. Just like Atreyu from The Never-Ending Story. You remember Atreyu? Because I totally had the hugest crush on Atreyu. Looks totally different now. I mean, like, not even the same person. Ralphie from The Christmas Story, he looks the same. At one point, he lived out here. I don't know if he still does, but he did live out here. But
I don't know.
Anyways, but it was kind of funny because Andy, in the one that he made his reprise in, they were kind of making it like he was maybe a little mentally ill because nobody still believed him that the doll did these killings. But he played that role really good. He had Chucky's head at his house.
Believe me.
No,
He was so cute.
sad. He was adorable, and he was like, he said when he was talking about how Chucky had killed Aunt Maggie, and he said Chucky said she was a real bitch, and his mom was like, oh, "Why are you talking like that?" Well, that's what Chucky told him. The kid, the poor little baby, is being tortured by a doll, and this is the end.
He's a good actor.
He was so cute, wasn't he?
He had my heart.
But he did.
Yeah.
So you got some fun facts about Bride of Chucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
So according to Jennifer Tilly, the doll sex scene was all improvised.
Oh. It was so gross.
In the opening scene, Michael Myers and Jason's mask from Halloween 1978 and Friday the 13th 1980 movies, Leatherface's chainsaw from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974 movies, and Freddy Krueger's glove from A Nightmare on Elm Street 1984 movies are visible. The date on Tiffany's newspaper clippings at the beginning of the movie and the date of the death on Charles Lee Ray's tombstone is 8th of November 1988, the release date of the first Child's Play movie.
Don't you love when they do homage and fun stuff like that for us to discover? Mm-hmm. And now I gotta watch it. I like to go back and watch it again and see if I can catch some stuff. Like I caught that Rob Zombie song in the beginning. I was like, okay, cool. I forgot about that.
Right.
But I love catching fun stuff like that, and it's pretty cool to do because then you start looking through the movie like, did you see that right there? That was related to that. But I like that. Yeah. But Bride of Chucky, go ahead and check it out. If you've already seen all of these 8 movies, you know how fun they are. I just picked this one again because Tiff was in here and she was the villain.
You could have a whole Child's Play day.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could. And you'll see how he progresses. There's a meme out where it shows how his hairline slowly starts to recede from him being so cut up and tore up and chopped up and this and that. But then the newer one is just a brand new doll altogether who looks like he had like a facelift and he's younger and he's a smart doll and And then the series, he's the original evil Chucky. He's talking these kids into killing people and guiding them. And I got to tell you, if you've not watched the series, it's good. And there are people in there who deserved it.
Again, you say.
Yo, it is. So tell us what you think. All right. Anyways, check out Bride of Chucky. It's just a fun watch with the female villain in here who is running the show. Don't forget, we are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. We are on Instagram as well. Give us some requests. Tell us what you want to see. We'll shout you out on the show. We'll review your movie. Doesn't matter if it's old, if it's new. It doesn't matter what genre it's from. Also, go to PhoenixFearCon.com. We have some really fun stuff coming up in the middle of October. We're going to have some special guests coming in. We're going to have some horror paraphernalias. We're doing panels on female villains in horror movies.
Yep.
And also, you can check us out on Connect to Your City. If you go to the website, you click on the FearCon Network, you're going to see a lot of our horror movies. Some of our psych thrillers are going to be on there, as well as a lot of other content on the FearCon Network. So check us out, all right? Don't forget, GottaBeReel movie reviews with Thommi and Jules.
And also, Cash App.
Oh, that's right. We are on Cash App as well. GottaBeReel. If you want to make a contribution to our movie watching ventures, we appreciate anything that comes through. All right. Well, thank you very much for tuning in to our review of Bride of Chucky. And we'll see you soon, creeps. Bye-bye.
Bye.